Hi everyone, so it's been a while that I've made a video, but I recently saw this in a group and I really liked it. I decided to try it out and I'm calling it the double stacked boutique bow. I don't know what the real name is or whatever. That's just what I'm calling it. It's super easy and you really only need 2 strips of ribbon and that is it. You will need 2 1.5 inch ribbon. The longest ribbon is going to be 36 inches long, which is a yard. The second one is 32 inches, which is just 4 inches smaller than the first one. Of course, the biggest one is going to be the one that's the longest one is going to be the one that's the biggest bow, which is the bottom, and then the top bow is the 32 inch. Okay, now a lot of people do this differently. I get it. I have small hands, so it's easier for me to accordion fold this type of bow. The wider the ribbon, the harder it is for me to do that. So again, if you could do the accordion fold, more power to you. But for me, this is how I do it. I cut my ribbon. This one, by the way, is the small one because I started on the big one already, and it's getting stiffened as we speak. So anyways, you get your first ribbon, you fold it in half, and then what I do is I go like this just so I could see where the half is, like that, and then I get one end and I go to where I fold it and I do the same thing on this side. Basically, this is just helping me as a guide to where I'm gonna fold. Okay, and you do the same thing to the other side. You get the ribbon, fold it in half, and press down. You could also get your lighter and run it through right here. Okay, so once you do that, you get your first one that you did. Not the first one you did, the first from the end to there. And you're gonna fold it over like that. Okay, basically to get your first loop. After you get your first loop, you get the second one, which is basically the middle of the longest of the ribbon, and you fold it over like that. Okay, and then you get the other side and you're gonna put it in between there's gonna be 3, 1, 2, 3 in between the second one and the bottom one. Okay, so you fold it over and you put it in between those two like that, and you make sure that this is the same, the loop is as big as this one right here. Okay, like that's pretty good. I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger like that. Then you get your last one and you loop it over like that. Okay, so then you make sure these two are kind of the same, and they're definitely not. So like that. That's pretty good, I think. So then I get my, this is where if you got that accordion fold down on this, go ahead and do that from one end to the other. Me, on the other hand, I don't. So I get my salon clip, which I got at Sally's, and I make sure this little V right here is in the middle of here, like that. And then I hold it, and then I just go all the way through and make sure they're also from the top to the bottom the same. Okay, right in the middle. Right there and right there. Okay. Now I press it down right here because it tends to open for me at least. And then I get my needle and thread and I just go from right to left. Okay, so I put the first one. And when I do the first one, I make sure my needle goes through both these ribbons, this one and this one. Okay, see, you can see that from the back, like that. So I do that, I pull it through, and then I try and do, I'm going to say maybe like ½ an inch, maybe a little bit more, all the way across from each one. It's really simple. And now my last one, I make sure to do it exactly how I started it. Okay, so it would be right there, and make sure it goes through both this ribbon and this ribbon. You see, like that. And then I pull through, and then I take off the clip and I pull. Now I'm showing you, and I'm just gonna pull it, and you're gonna start to see the folds right here. Okay, now I do it on the bottom, like I place it down and then I pull it. I'm trying to see if my phone will get to that. Let's see. Okay, so place it down, hold it from one end, and then I just kind of pull. And as you can see, you could already see how they're forming. So then I get them and I pull it tight, and I make sure they're in the same. If they're not in the same, then I kind of just shimmy it over. So where this right here is pretty much lined up to the first one. Okay, so then I hold it tight and I wrap it around about 2 to 3 times. I'm trying to see if I have enough thread. Okay, so I hold it, I turn it around, and let's see, it feels like it's a little off. Okay, I turn it around and then I just tie it off. When tying it off, I do it twice. I mean, you could do fine with just one time, but I like doing it twice. There's one. My camera is, or my phone is so out of focus. I hope you guys saw any of that. Okay, there's another one. Second one, and you tie it off and you cut it off. And you turn it on and you're like, what the heck is this? That's what I just said too. This is where you form your loops. Okay, you get it, kind of shimmy it around, put it down, make sure everything is how you want it. Let's see. See, there is that. I just fix that a little. And there you go. Now, how I stiffen my bows is like my rave right there. I use the rave. I pick up, oops. I pick up the bow from the center, place it on my hand. I usually go over my trash can over here and just spray it all around. Make sure each loop gets a good decent of hairspray, and then I flip it over and I do the same to the bottom. Now, I've heard a lot of people say, oh, with the years it starts to get a little soft again. And of course it's going to do that because of the heat, and if you live in a place where there's a lot of humidity, that will tend to happen. And, you know, just tell your customers, just be like, you know what, if it starts to get a little soft, just get a little hairspray, spray it on, and you're good to go. For me, it's just cheaper to pay $2, $1.97 plus tax at Walmart, than pay, which I believe it's like $5, you know, and all you have to tell the customer if it happens, which I haven't had one customer tell me that it's stiffened, that it's unstiffened, I guess, gone soft. So I don't know what to tell you about that. But I have some that as I was doing this bow, they were getting harder. So let me tell you how to place them on one on top of the other. Once you get the big one like this, and you get the smaller one, I place it on top first before gluing, just to see how I want it. Okay, so I put that there. Because I know some people just go like this, and boom, and you're done. I don't like that. I like for my top loop to be inside the bottom loop. And that's just a preference of mine. I don't even know if that's how they're supposed to be, but that's just how I like it. Okay, so you just move it around. Make sure you have it where you want it. There's that one and that one. And there you go. So once I see that, I'm like, okay, sometimes they're not even from where you sew. And let me just show you. You see? It's a little off. So once I see that, I take this off and I know exactly where. I still put the glue at the center, right there. But when I place the small bow on top of the bigger one, I know that my threads are going to be off by a little, right there. Okay, just like how it was. So then I center that as much as I can, as far as not going too much back or too front. And then I put my loops inside as quickly as I can so the glue doesn't glue too fast, dry too fast. And I see if that's where I want it. If that's where I want it, then I press down in the middle like this. And I'm done. See? Simple as that. Now you see, I haven't mastered the bow yet. There's still some loops that for some reason are they don't get looped right, or for whatever reason. So put that in there. I do that. I even tend to, where if usually I'll have one loop that's being difficult, like for example for me right here would be like this one. I would push it down and I would put a little bit of glue right here, like a dot, to glue the bottom to the top. Very little, not enough for it to be like super stiff, like right there, but just enough so that it does not move. Okay, now I think I'm just babbling away. But yes, once you have that down, you just get your 3-inch ribbon, wrap it around, put your clip in the back, and that's it. For these, at least for my daughter, she doesn't have thick hair and she doesn't have thin, like it's in the middle. And I've tried to do the single prongs with the non-slip grip and they did not work out. I've tried the double prongs, which I don't have any right now, but then I bought in these right here, the ones with the teeth, and they work perfectly for her. So, and these measure, I think they're almost 3 inches, if not 3 inches. Let's see. Yep, they're the 3-inch from Hobby Lobby. And they work fine with her jumping around at school and everything, and it does not slip off. So what I do is I start here, glue, put the ribbon on it, close it, turn this around, and then glue here, and then glue all the way up to there. And that's it, and then just glue it right to the back. So, okay, now I know I am babbling around. Okay, so if you have any questions or anything, concerns or anything, again, the ribbon is 1.5-inch ribbon. The bottom layer, which is the biggest bow, is 36 inches long, and the top one is 32 inches long. But again, I will leave that in the description box just in case, for whatever reason. But again, if you have any questions or anything, please leave me a comment below. If this is the first time you watch this video and you're still interested, God bless you, because I am really babbling. Go ahead and click subscribe and the bell button just in case, just so when I make another video, you will get notified as soon as I do. So, okay, thank you guys. Have a good day.